Hi, it's Jenny from Real People of the Sunshine Coast here, and today we're with Bridget Woolnough from Cocoa Pod Handcrafted Chocolates. And we're going to have a chat to Bridget today on her journey into how she got into chocolate making and where she's going with the business and what she's doing. Welcome, Bridget.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Cocoa Pod, how you got started, where you got started, and a little bit about the journey.
Well, the journey's been a ride, that's for sure. It started a few years ago as a home-based business in Brisbane. I was on mat leave from my teaching position, and I decided that I wanted to do something a little bit more creative than staying at home. So I started selling wedding cakes, and there was a lull in the off-season for chocolates. So we made chocolates and I took them to the markets, and sure enough, it outgrew my cake demand, and we just kept going with it, and then eventually we grew out of our domestic home-based business space, had to make a decision, do we stop or do we keep going? And at that point, Dale, my husband, he rang all the councils on the East Coast to find one that would support us the best. We settled in the Sunshine Coast because the economic development section there had the best resources, I suppose, for us to tap into to grow. And a lot of the produce we were already using on the chocolates was from the Sunshine Coast, so it was just like a double bonus to be able to fall back into that catchment. So we purpose spaced out a commercial zone, and we've been here, this is our 2.5 years or so in this space. So primarily we sell handcrafted chocolates that are sort of paired with European couverture, so like the best of what Switzerland or Europe or Belgium has to offer, with locally sourced hero products. So we use ginger from Budrum Ginger, cream from Laney Dairies, we use raspberries from Loverberry and strawberries, we use Pepe Saya butter, which comes from New South Wales, we use Olsen sea salt, and anybody that makes a really amazing primary product, we then value add that and onto our chocolates if we feel like it's a great pairing.
So you collaborate a lot with people from the Food and Agribusiness Network, and you've actually done Grow Coastal as well, correct, the program. Did that help your business?
Yeah, I definitely think that the Grow Coastal program cemented some relationships that we already were starting to tap into, and also just gave us like a little bit of leverage to grow from that Sunshine Coast platform. I also think though, with Grow Coastal, you have to still do a lot of work, but it was really good to go back to basics on some things that perhaps we'd skimmed over or hadn't paid as much attention to or didn't focus on. And as you scale, you have to kind of go back to zero anyway to kind of work out where your flaws are.
So tell us a little bit about the chocolates that you're in your range at the moment.
Well, we have about 15 SKUs.
What's a SKU?
SKU. So like a line.
Variation?
A line. And we have multiple different sizes. So we have anything from like your standard retail size to your smaller corporate size. The smaller ones sort of get used in your hotels and like Sofitel and places like that want to use them in their minibar or perhaps corporate gifting, hampers a lot of the time. And then the larger ones are primarily used for your retail outlets, gourmet delis, some of the amazing IGAs.
Ros White's a fan.
Yep, we're in all of Ros White stores as well. And we have some new lines here as well with collabs with, like this one's from Black Lemonade. We use their cookies to make our cookies and cream. We have the Olsen sea salt, that's a new one, and Budrum Ginger, of course. So yeah, we have a few different sizes. We also have some box lines too, which are a little bit more gifty. Feels like a bit more of a gift, a bit more of a complete, so people tend to like these if they need to add something to flowers or need something that they can give. That's a great price point for a gift and still looks really luxurious.
And complements a bunch of flowers nicely.
Totally.
Now, I just want to talk about your relationship with Loverberry for a second, because we were talking about this a minute ago. Now, originally when you brought out your Raspberry Fever, which is one of my favourites, you were using dried raspberries from overseas. Is that correct?
Yeah, we sort of got them from a co-op.
But part of your philosophy is to support local.
Correct.
And to buy local and use local wherever you can by collaborating with other people. So if we can zoom in on that, Lisa, now through the new collaboration with Loverberry, we've got these beautiful bright red dried raspberries here, and we've got the imported ones from overseas that are the lighter colour. Their batches aren't that much different in age. Another compelling reason why, where we can, we should be looking to support local producers everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, and I think what's amazing, I'm a big fan of Loverberry, we also use their freeze-dried strawberries, is that they have a waste product, and so something that would have, been a damaged good that can't be sold to supermarkets, we can rescue and we can value add. So we work closely with Loverberry to make sure that we have the right size product and the right freeze-dry consistency to make sure that then it works for them and it works for us. And I think that's what's the beauty of collaborations, is that everybody wins.
You've won some awards for your chocolate, and rightly so, because they're pretty amazing. Tell us about those awards.
Sure enough, we walked away with, I think we've had more than 20 medals over the course of entering. So gold, silver. We've had some best in class. So we had this top product here, this toffee, actually won Best Confectionery in Australia in 2017. So of all the confectionaries that were entered, this one was the best. So we got a little medal for that one. And I think that the awards are a really good way just to check, are you on track? Is your quality up there? Do the judges, they obviously don't know who you are, they don't know your product, it's all blind tasting. And I always pride myself on picking out of the batch as opposed to making specially for the judges.
Are you exporting your product at all at the moment?
We are. We have 2 export clients, one in Dubai and one in Singapore. So.
And how do you go about breaking into those markets? Because it's not an easy thing to do, particularly for a startup. If you've been going from your home 2.5 years ago to here you are now, that's not an easy thing to do. Maybe perhaps tell our listeners and viewers what the secret to that is.
Oh, look, a lot of hard work, I suppose, like primarily with any small business. I think we did most of our business customers have actually found us, which is a great compliment. We also did a lot of trade shows, like we travelled around Sydney and Brisbane doing, trade only or consumer-based shows, and then they discovered us one way or the other, or finding, feeding opportunities where customers could discover us and then perhaps it linked through. So, we did regional flavours on the weekend.
It's a great story, isn't it, to have a product like this in a local hotel where they say they're using a local supplier who is also sourcing local product. I mean, obviously not the chocolate itself, but the enhancements that go into it. I think that's a really lovely story of how we support local businesses, and the client and the consumer also gets a better product.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you put love into your product and you pride yourself on, quality as well as beauty, I suppose, like most of our products are really visually, aesthetically pleasing, and putting a lot of care and attention to detail, and you just do it irrespective of what anyone thinks. Like, I think you have to really know in your heart that what you're doing is what you want to do, or that you're doing it for the greater good, then sure enough, you find the people that are interested in supporting that.
What's new? You said to me before, we've just done this, and I just tasted the salted caramel, and it's very good.
I decided to make a peanut-free zone, just to support our children's classes that we like to do, or contract manufacturing, and also eliminate any cross-contamination that perhaps could be a risk for any particular parent.
But we're still keeping the macadamia nuts and those sorts of products.
And all the tree nuts will stay. It's just the peanuts. And as a parent of 3, I appreciate a parent's concern that they might have that risk. So we feel like if it's just out, then everyone's happy. So this one is relaunched, I suppose, minus the peanuts. So this is new. We also have a cookies and cream, which is just brought out on the weekend, using black lemonade cookies, which are an amazing vegan cookie. And we have another one that's on its way too, which is a division of the toffee, but into a block. So that'll be another way you'll be able to find this really great product. And we also have our Chocolate Discovery Centre also being fitted out at the moment, which is...
What is that? Yeah.
It's an extension of our factory where people can come and discover chocolate and what we're doing, and we have heaps of cool projects on the go, so you'll be able to come and see what we're doing, check it out. We'll also continue our classes, predominantly for children. As a school teacher, that's where my heart is. That as a business person, we obviously still... young in that scheme, and I'm really excited to see where our future is going to go. Having just the one brand and being able to tap into so much already is really exciting. So we've got some big things coming. It's going to be good.
Well, I can't wait to hear about more of them. You're always delightful to talk to, and you've got such a great product, and it's been such a great journey. Thank you for joining us today and talking to us.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
And I'd say watch this space, because we're going to see a lot more of Bridget Woolner and her great chocolate.